attacks on minorities as they continue in the nation of Bangladesh. Top intelligence sources, and this is information given to us by securities editor Manoj Gupta. Intelligence sources have told CNN News 18 that attempts are going on to erase the history of Bangladesh, a year zero type situation taking place inside Bangladesh, where the protesting mobs who are behind these targeted attacks have forced the Bangladesh Chief Justice to resign. And now what we are learning is that Expressway has been renamed from Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman to the father of the nation, Hazrat Ibrahim. And the media houses have also been burnt down in many parts of Bangladesh. So it seems that the entire attempt is to remake the image of Bangladesh on the global stage. I'm joined by my colleague Anand Narasimhan on the broadcast. So Anand, it seems that more than delivering justice and ousting Sheikh Hasina, who was deeply unpopular on the ground, this opportunity to demand justice for Bangladeshis across the nation has been hijacked by an attempt to renegotiate, retell, and kind of remake the building blocks of what we know as Bangladesh.
Well, good afternoon to our viewers and good afternoon, Aishman. Here is the aspect, the history has not been taught to this current generation and they want to write their own history or craft their own history. That's one aspect. The other aspect is that this could be the involvement of very, very strong radical elements who were never very predisposed or friendly towards India and the role that Bharat played in the liberation of Bangladesh. So they have a different understanding of their history or the way they would want to look at it. The other thing is that locally, both Mujibur Rahman and Sheikh Hasina have been unpopular for a while. Mujibur Rahman was also not very popular towards soon after the creation of Bangladesh and during his regime. But that's the internal story. But what they are trying to do, force a change in the Supreme Court judges, force channels, media channels to also change their management overnight, their staff overnight. This is a brazen mob rule, especially when there is a interim government in place, which is an all-party government, which is supposed to bring peace and order. Now, this government itself is being pressured left, right, and center by this mob that's not just whipping up a frenzy on the street, but they are also deliberately trying to, like you said, change the whole narrative of Bangladesh's history and also the future course. But is this what was planned or envisioned? Is this what was a student protest, or is it something wholly different altogether? Is a question. Why are student protesters involved in trying to change the judges in the Supreme Court, the composition of the Supreme Court bench, how the Supreme Court functions? And this is alarming. Where you don't touch the courts of a nation like this, you don't break the rules so brazenly. Expressways are being forcefully renamed, toll booths are being broken. Law and order, one may say, okay, this is just a select group and certain small instances, but with the Supreme Court, what they had tried to do, what they've tried to do with some very prominent media channels, that is a very, very worrying aspect. And the Indian government and top government sources have revealed to CNN News 18 that they are keeping a very close watch. And if the new government is empowered, then it better show it and it better crack down rather than buckle and wilt in front of the force of the mob. They have to break down this force of the mob and restore order, and that's not happening. And India is very, very concerned about the developments in Bangladesh, even after the swearing in of Muhammad Yunus.
Right. And Anand, before I let you go, in your opinion, is the elevation of Muhammad Yunus just an attempt to give a veneer of legitimacy to this entire plot?
Well, those who orchestrated the collapse and the bringing down of the Sheikh Hasina elected government, a duly elected government with a majority, has been brought down within months of her coming back to power. And so if they have done it with a particular assurance and with a particular intention and they have reposed confidence in a Nobel laureate, then that confidence has to be then lived up to. And they have to demonstrate it with work. Now, so far it's not happened. In fact, the induction of certain ministers within the interim government in Bangladesh itself is a huge concern, because these entities and their motives are far more radical and diabolical than students coming out to assert themselves and demand justice. So clearly there are multiple layers over what's happening in Bangladesh. Whoever are the powers that be, whom Sheikh Hasina has quoted, the white man, as per intel sources and our security affairs editor Manoj Gupta, those people and those entities sitting elsewhere, thousands of miles away, have to see they have a responsibility towards the huge population of Bangladesh and its people, a nation that was that's given its sweat, toil and blood for its independence in 1971, and a nation that is also an important contributor at the global level in terms of trade and supplies.
Absolutely. A troubling situation emerging from the nation of Bangladesh. Thank you, Anand, for joining us on the broadcast with that piece of breaking news. So it seems that the entire student agitation seems to have been hijacked by a plot to install a more radical regime in the nation of Bangladesh. Now, CNN News 18's Akanksha Swaroop spoke to the United Nations Deputy Spokesperson Farhan Haq about the rising attacks on Hindus.